All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something called front row fan clubs. Now, if you've ever been to a sports bar, you know the vibe. This is a tech platform built specifically for those kinds of places. We're going to break down exactly what it is, how they say it works, and the results they're promising, all straight from their marketing materials. Let's get to it.
So picture this. It's game day. Your place is packed, shoulder to shoulder. Every single person is locked in on the TV. Sounds great, right? But for a business owner, this actually brings up a huge challenge.
And that challenge really comes down to one simple question. Yeah, your TVs are on, but are they actually working for you? I mean, think about it. On game day, those screens are your #1 asset. But they're just passive. Sure, they get people in the door, but are they actively helping your bottom line? So today we're explaining a system that claims it can flip that switch, turning those screens into tools that actually generate revenue.
Okay, so what's the big idea here? Well, they frame it as a whole new kind of playbook. The idea is to use technology to completely change how your customers engage with the game, and more importantly, with your bar. So here's the official spiel. They call it an AI-powered mobile sports entertainment platform. A bit of a mouthful, right? But the key phrase you really got to latch onto is this: turn background TVs into foreground interactive entertainment. Basically, the whole goal is to take the TV from just being, wallpaper that people stare at to something they can actively play along with. All right, that sounds cool, but how does it actually do that? Let's take a look at the main feature, the thing that happens right there in your bar or restaurant that's supposed to totally change the game-watching experience.
Okay, the heart and soul of this whole thing is something they call Live Sports Bingo. It's a completely automated game that syncs up with whatever sport is on TV. So just imagine, your customer is watching the game, and when there's a touchdown or a three-pointer or a big strikeout, bam, a square automatically gets marked off on a bingo card right on their phone. Pretty clever.
So what's in it for the owner? Well, the pitch is super straightforward. The theory is, if your guests are trying to win at bingo, they're going to stick around longer. And longer stays mean more orders for food and drinks. But maybe the most important part? They pitch this thing as turnkey. It's fully automated. Your staff doesn't have to touch it. Zero management required.
But wait, there's more. The whole idea isn't just about what happens while the game is on. It's designed to build a connection with your customers that literally follows them home. Let's see how they pull that off.
They call this their dual engagement ecosystem. Think of it as two sides of the same coin. On one side, you've got the in-venue play, right? The live sports bingo we just talked about, designed to get people to spend more while they're there. But on the other side, you have at-home play. This means daily games and notifications sent right to your customer's phone, keeping your brand front and center, even when they're just chilling on the couch. And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. It's the linchpin. Any points your customers earn playing these games at home, well, they can only be cashed in by coming back to your venue. It's not subtle. The at-home part is completely and totally designed to do one thing: drive people back through your doors.
Okay, this all sounds interesting, but for any business owner, it all comes down to the numbers, right? The ROI. So let's dig into the specific results this company claims it can deliver, according to their own info.
The big headline claim here is a major boost in revenue. They say that venues using the system see a 20 to 35% jump in the average check size on game days. I mean, that's not a small number. That's a pretty substantial increase. But you might be thinking, yeah, but do people actually sign up for this stuff? Well, according to them, the fan club conversion rate is over 70%. That suggests that, yeah, most of your guests will actually opt in and start playing. And that's absolutely critical, because the whole system is worthless if nobody participates.
And this next number really gets to the heart of what they're trying to do with customer loyalty. The platform claims it can increase how often people visit on game days by up to 44%. Think about that. You're talking about turning a customer who comes in once a month into a weekly regular. So it's not just about getting them to spend more when they're there, it's about getting them there more often.
To put some meat on these bones, let's look at a specific case study they shared. They point to a restaurant up in New Hampshire. That place apparently saw a 32% increase in their game day ticket sales, which is right in that range they promised, and an even more impressive customer opt-in rate of over 80%. Look, if you're running a bar or a restaurant, the last thing you have time for is a complicated new system. Complexity is a killer. That's probably why they really hammer home this simple 3-step implementation process. You get a demo, they do a simple setup, and boom, you go live. The message is pretty clear. This is supposed to be easy. So what are you actually getting for your money?
Well, their flyer lists a weekly fee, and for that, you get the whole shebang. Unlimited live sports bingo, of course. A mobile app that's branded with your logo. All the table tents and QR code signs you need to get people playing. And you get a dedicated person to call if you have any problems.
And this quote from one of their clients really sums up the core pitch. It's not just about making your already packed Friday nights even crazier. It's about using this automated entertainment to take a slow Tuesday or a dead Wednesday and turn it into a money-making night.
So we'll leave you with this final kind of provocative question they pose in their material. What if the future of your business isn't just happening on the field, but right there on your own screens? It's an interesting way to think, right? It reframes the TVs you already have, suggesting that maybe the biggest opportunity you have for growth is hiding in plain sight. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in to This Explainer.